Does 34 weeks sound like a long time to plan for retirement, to move to a foreign country? In this video, I'm going to share with you some of the obstacles and hurdles that I need to overcome in order to be able to get on that plane in 34 weeks. By the end of the video, I will share with you why it's a 34-week countdown. Come along on the journey with me. I made a list of issues that I need to take care of before I get on that plane. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Cup of Joe. I'm an RN that works for the VA. I'm a psych nurse. I have the profound privilege of working with greatest heroes that unfortunately these guys have some, drug addiction or alcoholism and PTSD. It's my job to care for them while they're in my program. But I've come to a crossroads. Time for me to, hang up the stethoscope and the scrubs. My goal is to retire to the Philippines. I'm working here in Los Angeles, California. I have a home in Arizona. I plan to keep my home. This past year, I had bought a piece of property in a 55 and older community. It's one of the few 55 and older communities where you actually own the land, you own the home on it. I really like that aspect of it. So I bought this piece of property. I bought a manufactured home and I brought it in, a setup crew, set it up, and now I'm in the process of finishing a garage that I had built. I plan to keep that and come back to the U.S. during the winter months. November, December, January, February, March. That's a great time to be down there. I've got siblings that live in the same community during the winter months. They're snowbirds. I've got cousins that live there, and it's very active. We play pickleball almost every day. Golf, there's a 9-hole golf course, there's swimming pools and hot tubs, and we play euchre. I'm originally from Iowa, so that's our card game that we play. I plan to winter there and then come St. Patty's Day, get on a flight and go to the Philippines and set up that as my primary residence. With that being said, I have a lot of loose ends that I need to get tied together before I can leave, or I'll be paying an exorbitant amount of money for things that I don't need. One of them is this RV. So as I said, I'm here in California and I'm working as a nurse, and I drove my RV here. I'm parked in an RV park, and when I finish working for the VA, my intention is to sell the RV. No need to have something like this sitting in storage, rodents, who knows what else. So yeah, come the time that I'm back in Arizona, I want to get this thing sold and really don't even care the price. I want it to be a win-win for sure. And so that's one thing. Second thing is I drive a converted ambulance that I wanted a Class B, like a Travada, and I just didn't want to pay the new price is, $60, 70, 80, $90,000, used or 40,000. And so I bought an ambulance. I converted it into a nice little camper van with solar and the fridge and the stove, and it's very comfortable. But again, I don't need it and don't want it. So again, that's the second item that definitely needs to go on the auction block. Thirdly, I have a car. I have a 1995 Buick Riviera. It's okay. It's nothing to write home to mom about. It has no rust. It's an Arizona car. And I want to sell it. Now, you might be wondering, if I'm going to sell all my vehicles and I plan to come back in November of every year, then what am I going to drive? Well, the fourth set of wheels I have is a Polaris side-by-side. And it is mainly for off-road. It's a lot of fun. I'm right on the desert. And however, it is street legal. And so my goal, my plan right now is to keep the side-by-side. And when I get back to Arizona, it'll serve me for my daily driver. The park I live in is maybe 3 miles out of town. I can drive that to town, get groceries. I can drive it to the golf course with with clubs in the back. So I mean, I can get around with the side-by-side. And then if for whatever reason I needed to go more than 20-30 miles, I could look at renting a car or borrowing a car. And so that's the plan for my daily set of wheels. I also have a golf cart that has like a dump truck on the back. It's like a carry-all. And I bought that when I was, just put the house in and was, doing landscaping and that. So it served me well in that regard, but don't need that any longer either. Arizona summers are really hard on vehicles that just sit. Hard on the batteries, hard on the tires. And so I want to minimize the set of tires and batteries that I have to deal with when I come back in the fall or the winter. Let's see what else I've got here. So so the idea of selling the RV and selling the car and the van isn't just that I'll have some cash from those and maybe have that as my emergency fund when I get to the Philippines, but also it cuts down on the paying for insurance, paying for registration. That's 3 sets of insurance and registration that I can take, off the list, and that'll make a big difference on an annual basis. Over the registration and insurance is over $1,000 a year, probably quite a bit. I haven't done the math on it yet. So that would leave me with my house is paid for. And so I don't have a mortgage. I have a homeowners association that is approximately $50 a month. So, or not even that, $500 annually. And I'm thinking that the water is about $500 annually, and electric will be maybe $800 annually. And then the homeowner's insurance. I'm currently paying $860 a year, and I didn't shop very much for it. I basically checked with one company. They told me the price, and I just went with it. So I think I can reduce my homeowner's insurance by probably half, but I haven't done the shopping, so I don't know. If you have ideas on the best homeowners, then please leave me a comment in the remarks and let me know who you use and about what you pay. My place is 900 square foot. It's 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and it's a manufactured house that's converted to real property on the land. And so it's not a mansion, but it's very comfortable for me anyways. As I said, I'm building a garage. So the garage is built. I say I'm building it. I had it built. The garage is built, and my son and I put up drywall a month ago, and we ran out of daylight. I was back in Arizona for a week, and we insulated it and drywalled it, but I didn't get it taped and textured and painted. And so that's one of the things that I really want to do before I leave out of here is have my inside of my garage finished. I did put a bathroom and and sink in the garage. So still need to build a little 7 foot by 5 foot bathroom around the toilet there for privacy. And I want to build a workbench and maybe seal the floor. So those are things that I can do personally. As soon as I get done with the taping and texturing and painting, the electrician already came out and wired the place, but he needs to come back out and put the receptacles and the lights on after we get done with the mess that we're going to make with the painting and the texture and that sort of thing. One of the things I need to take care of before I leave is my nursing license expires February 28th. And my intention is to renew my nursing license. It's a 2-year license. And although at this time I don't plan to use it, it's a great backup plan. The nursing license has served me well. I'm very blessed. And I could see that when I come back in the winter time, that maybe I would do a 13-week nursing gig. I was a travel nurse for the VA for a couple of years. I've been to 16 different VAs across the nation, and maybe that would be a plan to make a few extra dollars while I'm back in the USA. But as it is right now, I don't plan to use it, but want to have that option. So I'll renew my nursing license right before I jump on that plane. I've put in for my retirement at the VA and scheduled it for December 20th. And I pulled that number out of the sky, or that date out of the sky. Thought, most the holidays, I'm a single guy, so it's been historically, as a single guy, I'm working the holidays. I work Thanksgiving, I work Christmas, I work Easter, and the folks with families, I want them to be able to spend the time with their family. So I picked December 20th, thinking, hey, this would be nice to be able to spend Christmas with some of my loved ones instead of working that day. So I say I pulled it out of the sky, but there was a little bit of rhyme and reason. Before I take off for the Philippines in a couple months, 3 months after that I can spend time with some of my family members. I know that banking is an issue, but I don't know what the issue is, to be quite honest with you. I have 2 different banks. I bank with Navy Federal, and I have a TD Ameritrade account, and I don't know how those are abroad. And so if I'm going to have my retirement direct deposited, I need to know, how I can best access it from the Philippines. And I'm sure some of you guys and gals out there have dealt with this and know the ins and outs around that. So please, if you're watching this and you know how to best utilize the banking system when you're abroad, share it in the comments with me. I appreciate it. Truly do. Let's see what else. Oh, here's a big one. I meet with a surgeon on August 10th, and I need hip surgery. I had hip surgery last June, or a year ago June, and I need my other hip done, and I want to take care of it, one, when I'm working, and so I'm paid while I'm recovering, and two, definitely want to, get it taken care of and be 100% recovered before I, go to the foreign country, to the Philippines. So yeah, I meet with the surgeon on the 10th of August, and I, I'm hoping that he can get me on the schedule within a month of that time frame. You know how it is with the VA. Sometimes they're scheduled out longer than that. The great thing about the VA is if they can't get me in within 30 days, then I can choose to, go have it done outside the VA, which I don't want to do. I had the left hip done with the VA. I'm satisfied with the work they've done. I've had elbow surgery with the VA. I've had all my care is done through the VA currently, and I'm very grateful, and I feel like I've been taken care of very well for all across the spectrum. So my goal is to have it done, use the same surgeon that did my left hip last June, have him do the same, have him do my right. He knows what hardware he used. He knows my history. So I think it makes sense to use him. And so hopefully they can schedule me within 30 days and I can start my recovery while I'm working and be fully recovered by the time I'm ready to retire and leave the US. So, as I mentioned, my care is through the VA, so obviously that makes me a veteran. And, I've listened to a lot of the, great expats that are in the Philippines now. And one of the common themes that I hear, which I'm happy to hear, is that veterans seem to do better moving to a foreign country than, people that have never served. And I don't know why that is or if it's accurate, but I am a veteran, and, I hope that gives me a leg up with the ability to be able to hit the ground running when I get there. And, with this 34 weeks between now and the time I get on the plane, I hope that with your help that I can minimize the mistakes, maximize the efforts of my own efforts and your efforts, and have it a smooth transition. One of the reasons why I worked so hard and I'm willing to live in an RV to save money to build my place in Arizona is, yes, I want to move to the Philippines, and I am from a huge loving family. I've got 5 brothers and 5 sisters, and 5 older, 5 younger. I'm right in the middle. I've got 3 children. I've got a granddaughter and one on the way, and those people mean the world to me. And so it's my plan is that how can I live affordable when I retire, and I've set myself up to be able to do just that by having that place in Arizona. I believe, and I don't think many people could say this, but I believe my nut in the US will be much less than what it'll cost me to live in the Philippines. And by saying that, that actually enables me to live the kind of life that I want to live in the Philippines, knowing that I don't have a huge nut here in the US that I have to meet every month. So, hey, that's it for today. I appreciate you coming along. I did tell you that I would say why the countdown is 34 weeks is I turned 62 in 34 weeks, and my goal is to be in the Philippines with my toes in the water on my 62nd birthday. And so I'm starting now, and when I'm 62, I'm going to start that new chapter. So thanks for coming along, and I'll see you guys on the next video.